Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. Some of you have watched my G1 knowledge test videos, my G2 and G full videos. Now you've passed your tests, you've gotten your driving license, and now you may be thinking, hey, why not drive for Uber or Lyft and earn some money? In the city of Toronto, you will have to get a PTC license. PTC stands for Private Transportation Company, and you will need that license to drive in the city of Toronto. Now, to get it, you will have to attend a course with an accredited organization. And at the end of this course, you will have a test. In this video, I'm going to show you questions and answers from the Alert Driving test. There's 35 questions. You will have 5 different sections. In each section, you have 7 questions. And in each section, you have to pass, in order to pass, you have to score 70%. 70% means you have to answer 5 questions out of 7 correctly in each section. At the end of this test, if you pass, you will get a certificate that you will then take and upload to Uber and Lyft, and they will use that to get a PTC license on your behalf. Once you get that, you will be able to drive in the city of Toronto. You will have 1 hour to complete the test, and you will have a maximum of 5 attempts to pass it in case you didn't pass it from the first time. Now, without further ado, let's go through these questions.
Section 1. Transporting passengers in a safe manner. In this section, the following topics are covered: safe driving behaviors, sharing the road with vulnerable road users, driving at night and in bad weather, distracted driving. What should you do when an emergency vehicle with flashing lights approaches you from behind? Stop immediately and turn off the engine. Proceed as normal. Stop in the nearest intersection. Pull over to the right side of the road. Pull over to the left side of the road. The answer is pull over to the right side of the road. Which of the following statements is true? Changing lanes frequently over slippery surfaces can prevent skidding. Ice is always visible on the road. Speeding or braking hard over a slippery surface can result in skidding. You should decrease your following distance in slippery conditions. Gradual braking or driving too slowly over a slippery surface can result in skidding. The answer is speeding or braking hard over a slippery surface can result in skidding. What can you do to improve your responsiveness at intersections? Cover the brake pedal in case you need to stop suddenly. Ignore signals. Turn on music at full volume. Increase your speed. Avoid checking your blind spots. The answer is cover the brake pedal in case you need to stop suddenly. What should you do to prepare your vehicle for winter road conditions? Put summer tires on your vehicle. Get a tune-up to make sure the vehicle is mechanically sound. Deflate your tires by 30%. Put your spare tires on your vehicle. Empty your vehicle of washer fluid. The answer is get a tune-up to make sure the vehicle is mechanically sound. According to the course materials, where do the most severe collisions often occur? At the mall, in drive-thrus, pulling forward into a driveway, at intersections, pulling forward into a parking spot. The answer is at intersections. What should you do while driving in adverse weather? Increase your average speed, increase your following distance, change lanes frequently, decrease your following distance, travel in another driver's blind spots. The answer is increase your following distance. What must you do if you are involved in a collision that results in a fatality? Check the other person's vehicle for insurance information. Call 911 right away. Call 411 right away. Leave the scene of the collision immediately. Remove your license plate so that it can't be recorded. The answer is call 911 right away. Section 2. driving in an urban setting. In this section, the following topics are covered: sharing the road with cyclists, managing unique roads, sharing the road with transit vehicles and passengers. What should you do before you or any of your passengers open a door? Roll down your window and wave your arm around outside. Wait until you see a cyclist approaching before opening the door. Scan your mirrors and check your blind spots for cyclists. Pull your vehicle up on the curb or sidewalk. Honk your horn 10 times. The answer is scan your mirrors and check your blind spots for cyclists. How far behind do you have to stop when a streetcar is unloading passengers ahead of you? At least 1 meter, at least 2 meters, at least 5 meters, at least 1.5 meters. A specific distance has never been provided. The answer is at least 2 meters. When can you pass a streetcar on the left? When its doors are open and passengers are getting on and getting off, on Saturdays, at all times, when you're trying to get through a green light, when the road is a one-way street. The answer is when the road is a one-way street. Where must you stop in an intersection with a bicycle box? In the far left lane, in the far right lane, in front of the box, behind the box, inside the box. The answer is behind the box. What should you do if a bus is stopped just before an intersection where you want to make a right turn? Get around the bus by driving onto the sidewalk. Honk at the bus until they move. Flash your high beams at the bus driver. Wait behind the bus until it departs from its stop, then make your turn. Pull in front of the bus and turn right. The answer is wait behind the bus until it departs from its stop, then make your turn. What should you do when turning right at an intersection? Position your vehicle so that your front tires are on the sidewalk. Position your vehicle so that nearby cyclists have very little room on the road. Turn on your left indicator to confuse other road users. Pull your vehicle as close to the curb as possible to cut off any cyclists. Position your vehicle so that nearby cyclists have enough room on the road. The answer is position your vehicle so that nearby cyclists have enough room on the road. What is the Dutch reach? Reaching for an object in the glove box while your vehicle is moving, having another passenger in your vehicle open your door for you, opening the door of your vehicle using the hand farthest from the door, rolling down your window to open your door from the outside, opening the passenger door while sitting in the driver's seat. The answer is opening the door of your vehicle using the hand farthest from the door. Section 3, providing service to accessible users. This section covers disability awareness and mobility and non-mobility disabilities. What is it called when a physical space limits someone's access to services? An organizational barrier, a physical or architectural barrier, an attitudinal barrier, an information barrier, a technological barrier. The answer is a physical or architectural barrier. What are mobility devices? Assistive devices such as canes or crutches used by people with disabilities to help them get around safely, non-discriminatory policies and procedures, a written note handed to a deaf person, communication devices such as audio tapes or DVDs, speaking directly to a disabled person and not their support person. The answer is assistive devices such as canes or crutches used by people with disabilities to help them get around safely. What should you do if you are having trouble understanding what a passenger with a disability is saying. Turn up the music in your vehicle as loud as it will go. Ignore them completely. Just ask them to repeat what they said. Ask them to leave your vehicle immediately. Give them the lowest possible rating. The answer is just ask them to repeat what they said. What is true about disabilities? They are always visible. They can be visible or non-visible. They are never visible. They are all the same. They never impact a person's ability to access services. The answer is they can be visible or non-visible. What is disability? A mental condition only, a physical or mental condition that limits a person's movements, senses, or activities, a form of insurance coverage, a physical condition only, an unrealistic stereotype. The answer is a physical or mental condition that limits a person's movements, senses, or activities. Which of these are examples of mobility devices? Canes and crutches, walkers, wheelchairs, scooters, all of the above. The answer is all of the above. What is a technological barrier? When a company employees understand sign language, when information is provided in formats all customers can access, when there are no wheelchair ramps, policies and procedures that discriminate against people with disabilities, when technology is not accessible to people with disabilities. The answer is when technology is not accessible to people with disabilities. Section 4, Anti-Racism and Discrimination. This section covers the following topics: understanding discrimination, types of harassment, understanding equity and inclusion, addressing unwelcome behavior. What is discrimination? Treating a person or a group badly for reasons such as race, age, or disability. Communicating how goods and services will be provided to people with disabilities. Removing barriers to make services accessible. Considering the diversity of your customers to ensure equitable treatment. And environment of inclusion. The answer is treating a person or a group badly for reasons such as their race, age, or disability. Which of the following statements about Ontario businesses is true? They can refuse service to people who have a support person with them. They should never ask customers how they can assist in making their business more accessible. They cannot refuse service if it is discriminatory. They do not have to provide information in formats that everyone can access. They can refuse service to people who use a service animal. The answer is they cannot refuse service if it is discriminatory. Which of the following statements is true? Inclusion means excluding some people. Equality means to treat everyone differently. Diversity means everyone is the same. Equity does not consider a person's differences. Bias means to generalize based on personal characteristics or stereotypes. The answer is bias means to generalize based on personal characteristics or stereotypes. What is your top priority as a professional driver when dealing with difficult passengers? Safety, showing them who is the boss, pushing them out of your moving vehicle, charging them extra for the trip, being aggressive with the passenger. The answer is safety. What should you do if a passenger who has become aggressive towards you refuses to leave your vehicle? Physically remove them yourself, call the police, start behaving aggressively towards them too, drive them as far from their destination as possible, start driving dangerously to scare the passenger. The answer is call the police. What is criticizing a passenger's cultural clothing an example of? Making conversation, physical violence, creating an inclusive environment for passengers, harassment, treating them equitably. The answer is harassment. What should you do if a passenger is harassing you? Control your emotions and try not to express anger. Respectfully and without arguing, ask the passenger to stop. If the passenger becomes aggressive, safely pull over and ask them to exit the vehicle. Call the police if necessary. All of the above. The answer is all of the above. Section 5. Legal requirements. In this section, the following topics are covered: Highway Traffic Act of Ontario, Ontario Human Rights Code, Chapter 546 of Toronto Municipal Code. What is true about seatbelts? It doesn't matter if they are damaged. They don't keep passengers safe. They must be properly worn and securely fastened. It doesn't matter how they are worn. They can be shared by more than one person. The answer is they must be properly worn and securely fastened. What must taxicab and limousine drivers do if they have refused service to someone? Harass the person by following them down the street, clean the interior of their vehicle completely, record their reasons for the refusal in the operator log, take a week off work, work extra shifts. The answer is record their reasons for the refusal in the operator log. What must taxi cab or limousine drivers have when they apply for a new or renewed license? A CDL license, proof of a completed driver training course, at least 15 years of driving experience, a forklift license, a blood test. The answer is a proof of a completed driver training course. Vehicles for hire must be black or white, less than 1 year old, registered, insured, and maintained to meet basic safety standards, at least 10 feet long, at least 10 years old. The answer is registered, insured, and maintained to meet basic safety standards. What can happen if a PTC driver fails to comply with insurance requirements? They can have their license suspended until the insurance is reinstated, renewed, or replaced. They can be asked to drive someone else's vehicle until the issue is resolved. They can receive money from their PTC. They can be fined $750,000. They can be forced to work longer shifts. The answer is they can have their license suspended until the insurance is reinstated, renewed, or replaced. What can happen if an official declares your vehicle is unsafe? It can be taken from you permanently. You can lose your driving license. It can be kept by the official for their personal use. It can be taken off the road until the problem is fixed. It can be upgraded by the city free of charge. The answer is it can be taken off the road until the problem is fixed. What should a taxi driver do after entering a public taxi cab stand? Use the time to clean and detail the taxi. Use the time to do minor repairs. Leave the taxi cab unattended. Go to the front of the line. Go to the end of the line. The answer is go to the end of the line. After passing your PTC test, you will get a certificate that you will need to upload to Uber or Lyft application. It will have your name and the date of completion.